Hello everybody, unit rates and proportional reasoning is what we're going to be studying today. A rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. Now you've gone with a ratio, and you know a ratio compares two different things. But a ratio compares two different things that are measured the same way. A rate compares things that are measured in different units. For example, 15 grams of fat in 5 servings of canned soup. So you're comparing grams to servings. Over here we've got 50 miles in 2 hours. We're comparing miles and hours. See, that's different from before, because before we compared like 60 seconds to 50 seconds. And that's how we did our proportion. Then we reduced it and we got 6 to 5. But there we're comparing seconds to seconds. A rate compares things measured in different units. Alright, the rate for 1 unit of a given quantity is called the unit rate. Okay? For a couple of examples, in the previous one, we had 50 miles in 2 hours. That's a rate. A unit rate is 25 miles per 1 hour. Okay? Unit indicates one thing. So 1 hour, 25 miles per 1 hour. In the previous one we had 15 grams of fat in 5 servings. And in this one we've got 3 grams per 1 serving. So a unit rate compares things to 1 hour or 1 serving. Okay, now to find a unit rate, divide both quantities of the rate by the second quantity. Woo! That sounds good. So here we go. We've got 50 miles in 2 hours. How did we do that? It says divide both quantities, the 50 and the 2, by the second quantity, the 2. So we divided 50 by 2 and we get 25. We divide 2 by 2 and we get 1, which is 25 miles in 1 hour. See, the reason we divide it by 2 is because 2 divided by 2, any number divided by itself, is 1. And that's what we want to get. We want to get per 1 hour, per 1 serving, per 1 gallon, per whatever. We want it to get it down to 1. So you divide by that second number. Alright, a package of cheddar cheese contains 15 servings and has a total of 147 grams of fat. Find the unit rate of grams of fat per serving. Now, a couple of clues here. It says grams of fat per serving. So fat's going to come first and serving is going to come second. So we come see, because it's not in that order up here. So you do it in the order that they give it to you. 147 grams of fat per serving, 15 servings. So what are we going to do to be able to get this down to a unit rate? Remember we said divide both amounts by the second amount. So what are we going to divide by? Yes, we're going to divide by 15. Okay? So we divide 15 by 15 and 147 by 15. And we get 9.8 grams of fat per 1 serving. See, 15 divided by 15 is 1. 147 divided by 15 is 9.8. Alright, now you get to try. Find the unit rate for 210 heartbeats in 3 minutes. What I want to know is how many heartbeats do I have per 1 minute? Alright, pause the video, try it, and come back to me. Alright, so we've got unit rate of 210 heartbeats in 3 minutes. So we've got So we've got 210 heartbeats per 3 minutes. And we want it to be per 1 minute. So we divide both of them by 3. And that gives us 70 heartbeats per minute. Did you get that? I hope that you did. I'm sure you did. Alright, try one more. Find the unit rate for traveling 1,200 miles in 4 hours. Pause the video and try this one. So we've got 1,200 miles. Let me get a different color this time. We've got 1,200 miles in 4 hours, and we want it to be per 1 hour. That's how you get a unit rate, for being by 1 hour. So we divide both of them by 4, and we get 300 miles in 1 hour. Okay? Very good. All right, now find the unit rate using fractions. Oh my goodness, we got to work with fractions. Fractions are our friends. They're not our enemies. Fractions, friends. See, they even start with the same first 2 letters. Use the same process. Divide both quantities by the second quantity. So we've got 6 over 10, 6/10 of a mile, and 1/4 of an hour. So what are we going to divide both of them by? Right, we're going to divide both of them by 1/4. Any number divided by itself is 1, so we don't even have to do this when we know it's going to be 1. So this is going to be per 1 hour. And now we've got to do 6/10 divided by 1/4. So we come over here and go 6/10 divided by 1/4 equals 6/10 times, because remember when you divide by a fraction you invert and multiply. So it's going to be times 4 over 1. So now, let me get a different color up here. You can take the 4, divide it by 2, and you get 2. Also divide the 10 by 2, and you get 5. Now we multiply 6 times 2, and we get 12. And 5 times 1, and we get 5. So it's, now let's change this in, we're going to change this into a mixed number. So 12 divided by 5 gives us 2 with 2 left over, so that's 2 and 2/5. So our answer will be 2 and 2/5 miles per 1 hour. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, your turn. Find the unit rate for 3/10 of a mile in 3/4 of an hour. Pause the video. Now, wait, before you pause it, what are you going to do? You're going to divide by the second one. Divide both of them by the second one. So you're going to divide both of them by 3/4. Okay, pause the video, try this one, and get back to me. All right, so we went 3/10. Excuse me, divide by 3/4 and divide by 3/4. That's going to give us 1. And then over here we're going to go divided by 3/4 equals 3/10 times, let me get this out of the way here, times 4 over 3, because we invert and multiply. These two can cancel each other out. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 10 5 times. We're left with 2 over 5. So the answer is 2/5 of a mile per 1 hour. Fractions. Was it your friend this time? Okay, using unit rates to compare. We've got 2 sizes of shampoo bottles that are shown here. Which size is the better buy? And we want you to round to the nearest cents, because we want to be able to use this information to be able to produce something that's useful for us. Okay, so let me show you how this works. We've got 13. Where am I? We've got 13.5 ounces of shampoo, and it costs $3.99. Okay, so $3.99 for 13.5 ounces. Well, to be able to compare the two, we need to have them both per ounce, because it's hard to compare things when they're not at the same measurement. So what we're going to do is find out what the unit rate is per ounce. So we've got $3.99 for 13.5 ounces. How do I find the unit rate? Yes, remember we divide by the second one for both of them. So we're going to go $3.99 divided by 13.5. We move the decimal one place and move the decimal one place. Put it up here. All right, so now 135 into 399 goes two times. That's 270 with 129 left over. And then it goes 9 times, and that's 1,215 with 75 left over. And then it goes 5 times. That's 675. So we've got 0.295. It says round to the nearest cent. Okay, cent is right here, the 100th spot. So that means the 5 tells us to round up. So our answer is 30 cents. So this one is 30 cents per ounce. Now let's compare the second one. The second one is 16 ounces, and it's $6.19. So it's $6.19 for 16 ounces. So to get the unit rate for it, we're going to divide both of them by 16. So we go 6.19 divided by 16. Excuse me, 16. All right, 16 goes into 61 3 times. That gives us 48. And then we've got 13 left over. 139. 16 goes 8 times. That gives us 128. And then it goes 6 times. And so when we want to round this one up, we look at this number. It tells us to round it up to 9. So we've got 0.39. So this one is 0.39 per ounce. Which one of them is the better buy? Well, the one that's the better buy is the 0.30 per ounce, 30 cents per ounce, because it's cheaper. So how does this help you? A lot of times manufacturers will put a bottle that is bigger and people will think that it's going to be cheaper because it took less materials to make it, and so they think the cost to the manufacturer will be less, and so they'll make the price less. Well, that's not true sometimes. The manufacturer remembers that people either aren't good at math in general or they're too lazy to try to figure it out. But we want to make you good enough at math to be able to figure these things out and not lazy. All right, which is the better buy? Your turn. You do this one. Tell me which detergent you would buy. All right, so we've got 32 fluid ounces for $1.99. So we come over here and we go $1.99 for 32 ounces. And so we go $1.99 divided by 32. And that goes 0 times, okay? And then it goes 4, 5, 6 times. That gives you 192. That's a 7 left over. Put the 0 there. 32 goes into 72 times. So this one is going to be 0.06. So 0.06 per fluid ounce. And then we go to the second one. It's $2.49 for 50 fluid ounces. Okay, so we go $2.49 divided by 50. Okay, and then 50 does not go into 24. Then 50 goes into 249 9 times. No. 4 times. 4 times 50 is 200 with 49 left over. Bring down a 0. That's 50 goes into 490 9 times. 9 times 50 is 450. And we look at this and it tells us to round it up to 5. So that's 0.05. So this one is 0.05 per fluid ounce. And the better buy is the bigger one this time.